Welcome back, Mushroom and Toad here, and today we are back on the Iron Platform, and that means it is time once again for another update of the Vimion Mod. So this week, if you looked at the changelog, you probably saw there were a lot of new features coming out in this update, most notably this pickaxe, this block here, as well as these mobs. So yeah, there's a lot to cover in this video, so I will get into it here in just a moment, but just before I do, it's a quick reminder that down in the description of this video is a link to download this mod for yourself if you want to check it out. Alright, that said, let's get into what this new update has to offer. Alright, so before we get too far into anything too fancy, I'm going to start off with the Silurian Knight pickaxe. So first of all, in order to craft it, you're going to have to go and get yourself some Silurian Knight gemstones as well as some sticks. You come down to the crafting table, and just like any old pickaxe, you'll be able to craft it just like this. Now once you've crafted it, the first thing you're going to want to do is right-click on it, and that will start it charging. Now, this thing has a few requirements for how it charges. First of all, you have to have a direct view of the sky, so it has to be, like, sunny out, and it has to be daytime, and you also have to have a direct view of the sky. So you'll see, first of all, if I come under here, these pickaxes will stop charging, but as soon as I step out, you'll see there they go, now they're charging again. Next of all, if I go time set night, you'll see they no longer charge because they no longer have a direct view of the sun. Let's set that back to day so you don't get swarmed by mobs, as if this platform isn't already. And so, what can you do with this pickaxe as it charges? Well, besides just being able to mine blocks with it, one of the awesome features of this thing is while it has charge, you can actually right-click on it, and it will set it into an active mode, a bit like the Nectary Knight axe. And while it's in this mode, it's going to draw a line of fire particles to the nearest ore block. So in this case, it's that coal ore, but if we stand over here, it's now that coal ore. And so, this is really helpful for finding Vimionite ores. Now, the range that it can find these ores at is directly determined by how much charge it has. So, for example, this one here has 17,000 charge, so it'll be able to see the ore block from here, whereas this one here with only 800 charge can't quite see it until you get a little bit closer. So it does have that range factor built into it, but it will seek out the nearest ore, and it should now be set to ignore most commonplace blocks. If there's one I've missed, please let me know on the issue tracker on the site. But yeah, it should mostly just seek out ores underground and things like that. So if we do just quickly pop here into spectator mode and head down here to a really low block layer, find ourselves a cave. And so we fire this thing up, and you'll see it's going straight here into this wall here, and you'll actually see that somewhere here. Oh, there's actually redstone there. But anyway, yeah, that Silurian Knight pickaxe, without going on too much of a tangent there, is the first new feature in this update. And so that is one of the pretty awesome things you can make with these tools. You know, it goes right alongside the Nectary Knight axe from last update with its vein mining abilities. The next thing here is this Nectary Knight summoner, and this thing is going to have everything to do with these mobs over here, as well as these spirits you've been harvesting for, like, what now, the past 4 weeks? So first of all, in order to craft it, you're going to need some Necryon gemstones, as well as some obsidian. And so let's take these ingredients here, get our Ice Bucket Challenge achievement, we'll place these in here, like this, and we'll get ourselves a Nectary Knight summoner. So once you have this summoner, you'll be able to place it down, and what is it going to do? Well, there's the sheep spirit. I knew it was in there somewhere. Okay. Let's just give ourselves a stack of these so we can demonstrate here. So what is going to happen here, let's just set ourselves into survival mode, and I'll be able to right-click on this thing. It's going to play a little animation, a little sound effect, and it's going to spawn in a Spectral Sheep, which you can probably hear a little bit of the sound effect it makes. It's a bit of a more hollow, echoey sheep noise. And here, if I punch it, it sounds like a sheep, but it is, of course, a little more ghostly. So, yeah, that's the first one. And then this will actually work with every one of the mobs, and I will just give you a chance to hear all of their sound effects here in this video. So let me just grab all of these different spirits. So you'll see, first of all, the chicken spirit. And then next up, we have the pig spirit. So there you go, that's the noise the spectral pig makes. Next up we have the spectral cow. Can it moo? Can we get a moo out of you? And so there you go. The spectral cow fades, as you'll see there on the subtitle. And last up, the rabbit. Which does in fact have a surprising number of sound effects. I didn't even know these guys had idle sounds until I was working on this project. As it turns out, rabbits actually have 4 ambient sounds, as well as 4 different hurt sounds and 1 death sound, which is in the game code called Bunny Murdered. So yeah, sounds like that. And there you go, that was the Bunny Murdered sound effect, but a little bit shifted. So yeah, these are the 5 new mobs added, and they come from the Nectary Knight Summoner. Now, what are they good for? Because, obviously, I don't want to just add a whole new feature just because it looks good, you know, besides the Vimion Knight blocks, of course. No, these things have a very, very special function, and if we just give ourselves some night vision here, you'll see I have a lot of mobs underneath this platform because it is dark down here. So, let's make it so that these mobs are going to get a little bit of attention. You'll see, as soon as it spawns in, every hostile mob is going to target it. You'll notice the spiders, completely uninterested by it. But you'll see, as soon as one of these mobs appears, all of the hostile mobs nearby are going to swarm it and want to kill it. And by the way, the range that they will detect this mob at and seek out to destroy it is rather large. So, as you can see, it did get the attention of all of these mobs, even though it's all the way over here. Skeleton knows better than to come out, but that little baby zombie, they want everything to do with that sheep. You see, if I spawn in this pig here, the zombies are going to go for it. The skeletons are going to shoot it. It's going to be a real undead mess. So all the undead mobs are seeking those nearby souls. And so that will happen on the spawn of the entity, but not only there. Because if we grab ourselves a Spectral Sheep spawn egg, and I'm going to take this over here and use some husks to demonstrate this fact, because husks don't burn during day. So, let's take our Spectral Sheep here. So nothing is targeting him right now. He's good right now, except that I'm going to spawn in this husk. There you go, there's a husk. Now, the husk isn't going to see this sheep, because the husk was actually spawned after the sheep. So this is the little feature of this that's going to give you some control over how these mobs interact. So, sheep like wheat. You know, even though it's a dead sheep, it's never lost its love of wheat, and it will follow you all around with it. This is the same for every mob, and just the normal items you could use to breed it, it will behave like this. So, let's say I've got this sheep here, and I want to feed it some wheat. It's not going to start breeding, but it is instantly going to attract the attention of all the hostile mobs, just as if it had just spawned. So you'll see, this husk is still uninterested in the sheep. But, well, I gotta kill the husks first, I guess. So once again, even a husk all the way over here from this sheep is going to start targeting it as soon as I give it wheat. Just like that. So there you go. So there you go. That is a little bit of feature that gives you some control over the mob behavior, and you can make nearby undead mobs all swarm around your spectral entity. Now, what this is good for is up to you for now, but next week, there's definitely going to be a huge feature revolving around this. So, that is what is new in this update. Lots of sound effects, and then, of course, a brand new pickaxe and a new block with a lot of functionality, and I just think it looks so cool. Like, watch this texture. Is that not satisfying just to watch that transformation? Here, it'll fade back now. I don't know about you, but I just think that's awesome. Okay, but that's enough of that. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed and are looking forward to more from this mod, do let me know by leaving a like on this video, and do consider subscribing if you're not already, to stay notified of right when the next Vimion Mod update comes out. So again, I just want to thank you for watching. This has been Mushroom Man Toad, and I'll see you in the next one.